Welcome, dear friends, to a journey through time, spirit, and history. A journey that begins in the heart of what we now call Benin in West Africa. Here in the ancient lands of the Edo people, there exists a belief, a sacred reverence for a being beyond all comprehension, beyond the reach of human sight, a presence that predates kingdoms, laws, and even the memory of ancestors. This being is known as Osanobua. Osanobua, sometimes called Osalobua, is the supreme god, the creator of the universe, the one who shaped the skies, the rivers, the forests, and all life that walks upon the earth. In the Edo language, Osanobua can be understood as God the Father, the one who creates and sustains life. A simple name for a presence that is anything but simple. In the cosmology of the Edo, the universe is not chaotic. It is carefully ordered, structured, governed by divine law. At the pinnacle stands Osanobua, eternal, invisible, all-knowing, all-powerful. Below him exists the Edion, the spirits who guide rivers, forests, and even human destiny. Below them, the ancestors, revered and honored, acting as intermediaries. And at the base, humans, the children of creation, tasked with living in harmony with this divine order. From the earliest times, the Edo people have understood the universe as a place where every action, every thought, every choice carries weight. For Osanobua is not merely a distant creator. He is the eternal judge, the guardian of morality, the one who rewards virtue and watches over justice. And yet he is benevolent, patient, and deeply connected to the world he has created. Long before the great palaces of Benin rose, long before kings claimed thrones, long before written records, the Edo people looked to the skies and whispered his name. Stories were passed from parent to child, elder to youth, teacher to student. Through myths, through songs, through the quiet contemplation of nature, the presence of Osanobua was felt, ever watchful, ever present, shaping the world in ways seen and unseen. In this 12-hour journey, we will explore not only who Osanobua is, but also the history of his worship, the cosmology he governs, the role he plays in the formation of the Edo kingdoms, and the moral and cultural foundations he instilled in generations. We will walk the sacred paths of forest shrines, witness the vibrant festivals that honor him, and meet the priests and diviners who speak on his behalf. Let us begin at the beginning, with the origin of all things, the time before time, when Osanobua, the eternal, the unseen, the creator of life, brought forth the world. The stories say that in the earliest days, there was only the void, a space without form, without light, without movement. And from this void, Osanobua spoke. His will was absolute. With intention and care, he shaped the heavens, separated the earth from the sky, and called forth rivers, forests, and mountains. Life emerged, fragile at first, yet imbued with the essence of the divine. He created humans in his image, not in appearance, but in spirit, gifted with reason, with choice, with the capacity for goodness, yet also with the potential for error. And from the beginning, he knew that humans would require guidance. So he created the Edion, the spirits who would serve as caretakers of the world, mediators between heaven and earth. These spirits, each with a specific domain, water, fertility, the forests, the winds, became the hands through which Osanobua touched the mortal world. And thus, the stage was set. The cosmos, structured by divine order, was ready for the unfolding of history, the rise of kingdoms, the lives of humans who would walk under the gaze of the eternal. This is the beginning of our story. A story that spans centuries, a story of creation, morality, kingship, and the enduring presence of Osanobua, the eternal god of the Edo people. As we leave the dawn of creation behind, let us step into the earliest days of the Edo people, when the world, though formed, was still young, and human societies were taking shape under the careful watch of Osanobua. The Edo people, known in the earliest accounts as Igodomigodo, lived in harmony with the land. They understood the world as a living, breathing entity, the forests, the rivers, the winds, and the sun all sacred. And at the center of this sacred universe stood Osanobua, unseen, omnipresent, the source of all life and all order. In these early times, belief in Osanobua was accompanied by the reverence for Edion, the spirits that mediated between humans and the supreme god. Each Edion had a purpose. One ruled the waters, another protected the forests, another guided hunters, yet another safeguarded the fields and crops. The Edo understood that Osanobua did not intervene directly in every human matter. Instead, he delegated. The Edion were his hands, his voices, and his agents on earth, and through them, the world remained in balance. From this early cosmology arose the oral traditions, stories passed from generation to generation. Elders would gather children under the shade of trees, near rivers, or beside the hearth, and recount the tales of creation, of Osanobua, and of the Edion. These stories were not only entertainment, they were lessons in morality, ethics, and the proper way to live. Humans were reminded that their choices carried weight. Every action, every thought, every word could either align with the divine order or disrupt it. Living in harmony with Osanobua meant respecting the land, honoring ancestors, and following the guidance of the Edion. The Edo people also believed that Osanobua had imbued the world with mystery and wonder. Thunder and lightning were not random, but manifestations of divine power. The changing seasons were signs of his eternal rhythm. Birth and death were sacred transitions, overseen by Osanobua's will, with the Edion and ancestors guiding souls along their path. In these early societies, leaders emerged, elders, chiefs, and spiritual guides, who acted in accordance with Osanobua's principles. They were custodians of morality, arbiters of justice, and mediators between the spiritual and mortal realms. Every law, every social custom was interpreted as a reflection of Osanobua's will. And so, the stage was set for what would become one of Africa's greatest civilizations. The spiritual framework established in these early times, with Osanobua as the supreme authority, the Edion as intermediaries, and humans as moral agents, would endure for centuries. It would guide the formation of kingdoms, shape culture, and sustain a moral universe across generations. But even as humans began to settle, farm, and form communities, Osanobua's presence remained subtle, pervasive, and profound. He was not only the creator of the world, but also the eternal guardian of its balance. And it was this belief in an unseen, ever-present divine order that would shape the rise of the Edo Kingdom and the powerful lineage of kings who ruled under his name. In the next hour, we will journey into the formation of the Benin Kingdom, where Osanobua's influence transformed not only the spiritual lives of the Edo people, but also their political structures, their laws, and their very identity as a civilization. This is the story of Osanobua, eternal, unseen, and guiding the Edo people through the unfolding of history. As the Edo people grew and communities multiplied, the need for order and leadership became clear. Guided by the unseen hand of Osanobua, these early societies began to coalesce, forming the foundations of what would later become the Benin Kingdom. In the beginning, these settlements were scattered. Families lived near rivers, forests, and fertile lands, each guided by elders and spiritual leaders. Yet Osanobua's divine order required unity. The people needed a structure, a kingdom that could embody his will, enforce justice, and maintain harmony among humans and with the spirit world. Around the 11th century, a leader named Igo Domigodo, often remembered as the first ruler of the Edo people, rose to unite the scattered clans. Under his guidance, villages began to recognize the central authority of a king, a figure who acted as the representative of Osanobua on earth. This was the birth of the divine kingship, the concept that would define Benin for centuries. The Oba, the king, was not merely a political leader. He was a spiritual intermediary, a vessel through which Osanobua's authority flowed. Every decision, every law, every festival celebrated in the kingdom was a reflection of the divine order set by the eternal God. The palace of the Oba became a sacred space, a living shrine to Osanobua. Within its walls, rituals were performed to honor the supreme deity, offerings were made, and the Edion were invoked to protect the kingdom. Here, the spiritual and political merged seamlessly. A decree from the Oba was more than law, it was the voice of the divine. It was also during this time that the Edo people codified their understanding of the Edion. Each spirit had a domain. Some protected warriors and hunters, others guided farmers and fishermen. And through these spirits, Osanobua remained present in every aspect of life, even as humans carried out their daily routines. The kingdom expanded slowly but steadily. Villages sent tribute to the Oba, acknowledging his authority. Trade routes flourished, connecting Benin to neighboring regions. And with every step of political growth, the spiritual foundation remained intact. Osanobua was always central, a guiding principle ensuring that the kingdom thrived in balance with the moral and natural order. Among the earliest rulers, Iweka I, son of Oranmiyan, stands out as a king who firmly established the monarchy under Osanobua's guidance. He consolidated territories, organized the palace structure, and reinforced rituals that honored the divine. By recognizing the Oba as a sacred figure, the Edo people strengthened not only political authority, but also cultural and spiritual unity. In this formative period, festivals became central to life in the kingdom. Ceremonies were held to honor Osanobua, to bless the land, and to renew the Oba's divine mandate. The people understood that the prosperity of the kingdom depended not only on governance, but also on their relationship with the divine, maintaining harmony with Osanobua and the Edion. Through Osanobua, the Edo established a moral framework for leadership. Kings were expected to be just, wise, and virtuous. Corruption or cruelty was seen as a disturbance in the divine order, a failure not only to the people, but also to Osanobua himself. And thus, the kingdom became a place where spiritual and temporal authority intertwined, where every action carried moral weight, and where obedience to the divine ensured stability and prosperity. It is here, in this fusion of faith and governance, that the Edo kingdom truly began to flourish. Cities grew, art and bronze work flourished, and society became highly organized. Osanobua's invisible hand shaped the growth of the kingdom, guiding decisions, inspiring rituals, and ensuring that the moral and spiritual order remained unbroken. As we leave this hour, remember that the formation of the Benin Kingdom was not merely a political achievement, it was a spiritual accomplishment, a living testament to the enduring presence of Osanobua. Through kingship, rituals, and daily life, the Edo people embodied the principles of the eternal God, weaving faith into the very fabric of their society. In the next hour, we will explore Osanobua in Edo cosmology and ethics, diving deeper into the moral universe he governs, the role of humans, spirits, and ancestors, and how divine order shaped every aspect of life. As the Edo kingdom grew under the guidance of its kings, The spiritual framework established by Osanobua continued to shape the lives of the people. It was not enough to merely recognize a supreme deity. Humans were expected to understand their place within the divine order, to live in harmony with the spirits, with the land, and with one another. In Edo cosmology, the universe is organized in layers. At the top is Osanobua, the eternal, unseen creator. Below him are the Edion, the spirits of the natural and moral world. And below the Edion are the ancestors, those who have passed on but remain active in guiding the living. At the base are humans, entrusted with choice, responsibility, and moral judgment. This structure was not only spiritual, it was ethical. The Edo understood that every action, no matter how small, had consequences. To respect Osanobua was to respect the moral fabric of existence. Justice, honesty, compassion, and community cohesion were not merely social ideals. They were reflections of divine order. The Edion played a central role in maintaining this balance. Each spirit had a domain, and each could intervene in human affairs when necessary. There was a spirit of the waters to protect fishermen, a spirit of the forest to guide hunters, a spirit of fertility to bless crops and families. Through these intermediaries, Osanobua remained intimately connected to the mortal world, guiding and observing without directly interfering. Humans were called upon to act ethically, not because of fear alone, but because immorality disrupted cosmic harmony. Theft, deceit, cruelty, and neglect were seen as violations against the universe itself. Such actions offended not only Osanobua, but also the spirits and ancestors who ensured balance in life. Priests and diviners, often called Eos, became essential guides. Through divination, rituals, and sacred counsel, they interpreted Osanobua's will. They were the bridge between humans and the divine, ensuring that society adhered to the moral and spiritual codes that maintained harmony. Education, too, was deeply intertwined with ethics. Children learned through stories, songs, and proverbs that emphasized virtue, justice, and obedience to the divine order. Tales of heroes and ancestors illustrated the rewards of righteous living and the consequences of transgression. These lessons were not abstract. They were practical guides for daily life, ensuring that the values of Osanobua permeated every action. Edo cosmology also addressed the mysteries of life and death. Osanobua was the ultimate source of life, and at the same time, the overseer of death. Life was a gift. Death was a transition. The ancestors, now part of the spiritual realm, acted as guardians of morality, intervening subtly to protect the living and maintain harmony. Human actions affected not only the living community, but also the spiritual world beyond. In essence, Osanobua's ethical framework transformed ordinary life into sacred duty. Farming, fishing, hunting, trade, marriage, governance, every activity was conducted under the implicit guidance of the eternal God. Even moments of leisure or celebration were infused with respect for the spirits, for the ancestors, and for Osanobua himself. This cosmic order also reinforced the legitimacy of leadership. Kings, chiefs, and elders were expected to uphold the divine principles. Corruption, cruelty, or neglect was not only a violation of social norms, it was a disturbance in Osanobua's cosmic balance. Justice, fairness, and wisdom were seen as divine virtues embodied in human rulers. Thus, by understanding the structure of the universe, the roles of spirits and ancestors, and the moral responsibilities of humans, the Edo people lived in a world that was both spiritual and practical, both ethical and natural. Every action, every thought, every intention had weight, because Osanobua was watching, and the Edion and ancestors were listening. As we move forward, we will explore the worship practices, shrines, festivals, and rituals that allowed humans to maintain this connection to Osanobua. These practices were not mere ceremonies. They were lifelines that preserved the balance of the cosmos, celebrated the divine, and guided society through centuries of change. This is the world of Osanobua, where morality, cosmology, and human life are inseparable, where every step of civilization is guided by the eternal hand of the Supreme God. As we journey deeper into the world of Osanobua, we step into the spaces where humans reached out to the divine, the shrines, groves, and palace courts where the eternal God was honored and remembered. Worship in the Edo tradition was not merely symbolic, it was a living, breathing connection, a dialogue between humans, the spirits, the ancestors, and the Supreme Creator.
Great spirits of the Edo land, we offer this libation. Hear our prayers and grant us strength and prosperity.
As we journey deeper into the world of Osanobua, we step into the spaces where humans reached out to the divine, the shrines, groves, and palace courts where the eternal God was honored and remembered. Worship in the Edo tradition was not merely symbolic, it was a living, breathing connection, a dialogue between humans, the spirits, the ancestors, and the Supreme Creator. In the earliest times, shrines to Osanobua were often simple: a sacred grove, a special tree, a stone marked as holy. These spaces were carefully chosen for their connection to nature, for their purity, and for their spiritual resonance. Later, as the kingdom grew, shrines became more elaborate, particularly in the palace of the Oba, where Osanobua's presence was honored daily. Offerings were an essential part of worship. Palm oil, kola nuts, yams, and sacred water were brought before the shrine, accompanied by prayers and songs. Each offering had meaning, each action was deliberate. The gift was not only an expression of gratitude, but also a request for guidance, protection, and blessings. Festivals were central to Edo's spiritual life. The Ige festival, for example, was more than a royal celebration. It was a renewal of the Oba's divine mandate, a reaffirmation of Osanobua's guidance, and a moment for the entire kingdom to honor the unseen forces that shape their world. During these festivals, music, dance, and ceremonial attire created a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Priests, known as Ias, were the mediators of the divine. Through divination, sacred rituals, and spiritual counsel, they interpreted the will of Osanobua and ensured that humans acted in accordance with cosmic order. They taught, guided, and protected, serving as both spiritual guardians and moral educators. Daily rituals were just as important as grand festivals. Families would offer prayers in their homes, pour libations, or light candles to honor Osanobua and the Edion. Even the simplest actions, planting a seed, catching fish, preparing a meal, were opportunities to acknowledge the divine, to live in harmony with the sacred order. The sacred rhythm of worship also reflected the rhythm of life itself. Births, marriages, deaths, and transitions were marked by rituals that recognized Osanobua's role in every stage. Ancestors were invoked to bless children, guide marriages, and protect the living. Every life event was a reminder of the eternal presence of the divine. Sacred music and dance played a vital role. Each movement, each rhythm, each song was symbolic, conveying prayers, gratitude, and devotion. Drums communicated messages to the spiritual realm. Flutes and bells carried intentions to the Edion. And through these performances, the people of Benin expressed their connection to Osanobua, reinforcing the bonds between humans, spirits, and the Supreme God. Even colors, attire, and ceremonial regalia held meaning. White represented purity, red symbolized life and power, gold reflected the divine essence. The Oba's garments, the priest's robes, and the sacred objects used in rituals were all carefully chosen to honor Osanobua and maintain the integrity of worship. Through these practices, shrines, offerings, festivals, music, dance, and daily rituals, the Edo people created a living, breathing connection to the eternal God. Osanobua was not distant, he was present, active, guiding and sustaining the moral and spiritual fabric of society. As we move into the next hour, we will explore Osanobua and the ancestors, the revered spirits who act as intermediaries between the living and the supreme God. These ancestors ensured continuity, morality, and protection, linking generations across centuries under the watchful presence of Osanobua.